of this little feud right here are the Revival, and I'm glad for that because I believe that they're the best tag team going. Okay, they have been since the NXT days, and it sucked when it was Dash that got hurt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it sucked when he went down because it looked like they were going to start them off huge when they first came up. So, but the Hardys don't really do anything for me anymore. They're a nostalgia act at this point until they actually man up and actually do the thing. It's nice that they're getting the ball rolling, but the mannerisms haven't gotten there yet. So I'm like, it's still the regular Hardys. The commentary is using new words. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
but
obviously it's still very, very early on with this whole thing. But it was enough to keep me interested.
And the club put a fork in them. They're done. I don't care. They've been done for months now. I don't care about the club anymore.
Well, speaking of tag teams and stables, there's still plenty of stuff happening on Raw in that department. Fool, what you got?
Really, it's just basically segueing into the tag team title match that we're going to get for SummerSlam. They started hinting at it now with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins continuing to stitch up the Shield brethren, whatnot. And you have Sheamus and Cesaro coming in, being awesome, continuing being the bar, continuing taking my heart. At least in Cesaro's case,
when you dig a hole and you're standing in it, get out. Don't dig deeper.
And now we had Sheamus and Seth Rollins in a really good singles match.
Yeah,
what I like about this is now it's 4 established singles guys now that they're in the tag team division. Now we're continuing the healing of Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, which I'm still loving. It's one of the only things that actually is catching my interest on Raw. And of course you have the love of my life, Cesaro, and the awesome Sheamus. I can't talk down on Sheamus because I still love Sheamus, but not as much as I love Cesaro. Huge Cesaro boner.
Okay,
I had to
continue.
go there. Continue. Hey, we're gonna talk about your boner later, fool.
I hope not.
oh, it's gonna be there. I love that now. I like the aspect of Dean Ambrose coming in. It's like I had to come out because if I didn't come out, I'd look like an asshole. I like that they're actually really building in like good character development on Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose and giving us a great feud for Sheamus and Cesaro. It's once again them expanding the tag team division in the right direction.
This has parallels to me of last year with the Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho team up. Okay, because a lot of people are going around online, and I've been reading the dirt sheets and all that. A lot of people think that this is the Shield reuniting Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose is all a ploy for Roman Reigns to get back in there and finally get over again.
Who said that?
A bunch of people. You'd be surprised.
That is so full.
I'm like, here's how this storyline is going. Okay, this is all gonna end up being set up for a Dean Ambrose Seth Rollins match at WrestleMania, with it flipped. Dean Ambrose is the heel and Seth Rollins is the face, because they're gonna get together. You're gonna get the crowd pleasing moment of them winning the tag team titles at some point. Maybe not SummerSlam, but at some point they will be the tag team champions. Okay, you're gonna get the crowd going with the fist bump and all that, but cracks are gonna start to show around January, and Dean Ambrose is gonna turn on Seth Rollins the same way that Seth Rollins turned on Dean Ambrose with a chair shot to the back. leading to them losing the tag team titles. Massive heel turn for Dean, and we get Dean versus Seth going into WrestleMania, the grudge match to end all grudge matches. That's how I see this going. But the build-up, is going swell. Okay, I love how Dean. It's true to character. Okay, Dean Ambrose doesn't trust anybody since Seth Rollins did what he did. Seth Rollins is gonna say sorry and think that Dean Ambrose is just gonna come crawling back.
Sorry.
Are you out of your mind? So it's like I also laughed out loud when Dean Ambrose said the only reason I came out there was because I would look like an asshole if I didn't. I was like, yes. Why does nobody ever go there? That's it. But
what I also like about this is I actually had a good discussion with one person on Facebook that it's like, well, you have Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins made up quite well. Why is Dean Ambrose being the sour one being on this one? And my response to him was, well, if you look back throughout the time Seth Rollins turned heel and to where we're at now, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose had the more personal feud.
Seth Rollins tried to end Dean Ambrose's career with bricks. Okay,
when the Shield initially broke up, it was mainly Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins actually feuding. They were reaching the personal aspect. Where when it came to Roman Reigns, he was just doing his own thing because WWE, aka Vince McMahon, has the biggest hard-on for him. What I like about it is that once again, it's with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. They're the fleshed-out characters. They're the ones that actually got us invested on what's going on with each person. At least when it came to the Shield breakup. So when you came to where we're at today with Seth trying to heal that wound, of course it's not going to be so easy. He had almost a good long feud for the title with the man. So
good long feud for the title. He tried to end. I'll keep going back to it.
But dude tried to end his career.
Yes. He tried to end his career. You're gonna immediately forgive him after that? I'm like, no, bitch. No. Seth Rollins said he was sorry, and I'm sorry. All right, I'll say it again. I'm sorry. I would be like, fuck you too.
It really gets me invested because it's actually a nice developed story. Instead of them just with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, they just threw them together and it's like, okay, we're good.
Exactly. There's too much chemistry and there's too good of a story there. It's enough.
The only time you're going to see Roman Reigns with these guys is for the inevitable Raw versus SmackDown Survivor Series tag team match.
Hell, they already ruined the reunion with these three. They did it at Tribute to the Troops.
Yeah, what a bogus thing that was. All of a sudden, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins are buddy with each other.
Yeah, they're apparently it was like, oh yeah, that's its own separate thing. The Tribute to the Troops is its own show. Don't pay attention to that. That never happened.
Because immediately after that, he gets to Raw and says, basically, no, Seth Rollins, we're not cool. But tribute to the troops. What?
Exactly. That's Tribute to the Troops. It's not a part of the official storyline. It's the Dragon Ball Z movies for like the Dragon Ball Z TV show. It's the Broly because there's no way it's Garlic Jr.
Not even that. It's the Tree of Might of the WWE universe. Am I the one who's seen that movie? I liked it. Whatever.
And the best team to get these guys back together and get them over is Sheamus and Cesaro. Is the bar because. Let's face it, okay? Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins were the bar when it came to the Shield. You looked at Roman Reigns. Okay, he would do the heavy lifting, but Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins were the heart and soul of the Shield. They were the bar. Okay, mm-hmm. There's a new bar now, and
it's one sexy bar.
And,
I'm never gonna stop. I'm never gonna stop.
And it makes sense.
It'll just keep growing for Cesaro.
New bar versus old bar.
Stop ignoring me.
I will never acknowledge that.
You just did.
God damn it.
Well, speaking of the Shield, we also got Roman Reigns defeating Braun Strowman and Samoa Joe.
Once again, God damn it. Why?
I'll tell you why.
It was a good match.
It was a good match. It was a good match, but I hope this means that we can cross out Roman Reigns' name.
And that's exactly why this is a good thing.
For winning the Fatal 4-Way match.
That's exactly why I had no problem with this whatsoever.
That's my hope, okay? But once again, Mr. Hard-On, okay? He makes Tarek's love for Cesaro look weak compared to his hard-on for Roman Reigns. Okay, that's it.
Okay, when you said Mr. Hard-On, for a second there, I had no idea who you were talking about.
Cesaro's not answering my calls.
Exactly. Case in point right there. Yeah. You gotta be curious with... You have to be...
I'm never curious when it comes to Cesaro.
Oh, okay. You need to cool it, buddy.
I will not. He just warms my heart and warms my penis.
Cold water! Cold water!
Okay. Closing out Raw, we've got Big Cass and Big versus Big Show closing Raw.
How the hell is this the main event?
Are you serious? According
it happened.
According to Dave Meltzer, the big focus point on Raw recently has been the second hour. The highest rated points for Raw has always been the second hour. The second hour. I almost did it again. The second hour. So they put the biggest match in the second hour point, and they just added the third hour because it's not that great a rating. But you know what?
How about this, Sparky? If you're gonna put the main event at the end of the second hour, 2 hours. Come on, it's not rocket science.
I just find it absolutely ridiculous that this was the closing point to Raw, especially after we had a very lackluster P-break match with Bayley and Nia
That entire third hour was pointless. All of it.
It really was, and just that the Enzo and Cass storyline is now run its course. I can't take it. I'm done with it. Every time it's on, it's the same shit over and over again.
He gets murdered every time.
Enzo says something. Cass, well, in this case, it was Cass versus Big Show. They had a match. Enzo gets destroyed again, and it leads to a disqualification and a knockout punch. What did this accomplish? What, are we just going to get a handicap match for SummerSlam? I hope that's the pre-show. Because that'll be the lowest point of the card if it's actually on the main roster. That'll be the P-break match between the two title matches. If that's the case, this feud is it's now run its course. I'm done with it. I'm sick of it. Almost as much as I'm done with Jason Jordan being Kurt Angle's son, but. To be fair, nobody believed that. Even when it initially happened, no one was okay. No one gave two shits about it. They were disappointed with it. Now we got an Intercontinental title match with that when it came to that storyline. But when it came to with this Big Show story, it's the same shit. Big Cass, quote, annihilates Big Show. But I don't believe it at all. I don't believe anything that's happening in this feud.
Big Cass, can't cut a promo to save his life.
And now he has a new theme song. He got a second theme song 2 weeks after.
I'll be honest, I didn't even see this match.
That tells you how bad the first one was. The second one wasn't much better.
It was better. But not by much. But it actually is a better theme song.
Yes.
It's generic. It's generic.
It can't really get worse than the first one.
The first one was like the last selection of generic theme songs, and this one was number 28.
This one was that middle of the pack.
It's still technically an improvement.
This one was middle of the pack. This one is the one This one's the one you go by. You stop for like 5 seconds, maybe. No. At
that point, I was done with Raw. I was tired. Not even just tired. I was just bored out of my mind. Raw had some really good moments and good matches, but it also had some shit. AKA this.
The entire third hour soured me on the show. Like, the first hour was pretty good. The second hour was my favorite. The third hour was a pile of shit.